Now I will talk about what is social cultural diversity. The concept of diversity refers generally to the degree to which a small group or organization is characterized by social cultural diversity and individual diversity. It also refers generally to cultural, ethnicity, gender, generational, and professional differences. It is closely related to social identity, which is the identity we can create by participating in a variety of groups. Next, diversity management reflects values of inclusivity and recognizing and valuing the differences among people. One challenge for individuals working in groups is to create cultures that value difference and manage diversity in ways that reduce uncertainty and build relational trust. So for the social identity theory, we categorize, compare ourselves to others, and identify ourselves when we communicate. When we engaging with people in different groups, we tend to categorize them and construct our social group with others. A small group's members are likely to decide how similar or different they are from other members of their team by comparing their social cultural characteristics with one another. So the group members will set themselves apart from other group members who don't seem to share their social identity. For work group diversity, diverse groups are better than more homogeneous groups. This is because diverse work groups may improve performance with a wide range of skills and perspectives. Although diverse membership groups may run into a variety of issues when forming, the varied backgrounds of these groups' members suggest that they may be better able to solve issues than homogeneous groups. So the challenge for those working in diverse groups is to maximize the benefits of diversity while minimizing potential costs. To accomplish the goal, groups with a high level of diversity may need to do more communication work. There are four diversity in social cultural diversity. The first diversity is cultural differences. The examples for cultural differences are individualism versus collectivism, high context versus low context, power distance, uncertainty avoidance, and masculinity and femininity. The second is gender differences. Examples for gender differences are gendered role, gender stereotype, group leadership, and reason research. The third is generational differences. Examples for generational differences are seniors, baby boomers, Generation X, and Generation Y. Lastly is professional differences, and the examples for professional differences are professional perspective and professional experience.
Hello everyone, my name is Lim Simin with matrix number 27X667. Would like to present about the cultural diversity. Culture is the integrated system of beliefs, values, behaviors, and communication patterns that are being shared by those socialized within the same group. Culture is also an important dimension of group diversity that influences communication. Next, I'll present about the dimensions of culture. Probability that we will work with variety type of people is high, especially members from different countries that have different type of cultures and values. There are five dimensions, that is individualistic versus collectivistic, high context versus low context, power distance, uncertainty avoidance, and also masculinity femininity. The first one is individualistic versus collectivistic. The individualistic people would like to be themselves and use direct or competitive strategies when solving conflict. United States or Western countries are tend to implement these cultures. For the collectivistic people, encourage group work or collaboration, collective goals, and all members' commitment and satisfaction is important. For the collectivistic people, have deeper relationship with each other and have more interaction between each other. The second is high context versus low context. Low context are related to individualistic that use less word action more. They are also more open and difficult to the other perspective like high context and tend to follow the rule. Next is high context relate to collectivistic. They are prefer direct communication. Thoughts and feelings tend to be expressed implicitly and they tend to engage with thema building before going to the task. The third dimension is power distance. The people in high power comfortable with status differences than in low power people, and low power people may value equal participation in team decision making. High power people believe that communication is organized based on differences in status and power. Next, uncertainty avoidance refers to which a culture is comfortable with or tends to avoid ambiguity and uncertainty. People with low uncertainty avoidance will accept more risk while the opposite for high uncertainty avoidance. Fewer written rules also being implemented for people that have low uncertainty avoidance. High need of security and low risk taker are the character of people with high uncertainty avoidance. The last one is masculinity femininity. They are focused on the cultures that favored values that have been traditionally defined as feminine or masculine. They also believe in expected gender roles in a cultures. In masculine cultures, gender roles tend to be more rigidly differentiated. In feminine value gender roles are less sharply differentiated. Attributes like nurturing, connection, and rapport increase value.
Hello everyone, my name is Lee Min Choi and my metric number is 285262. So now I am going to present about the gender difference. A cultural approach to understanding gender difference suggests that women and men grow up in gender worlds. As a result of socialization into different communication cultures, women and men adapt distinct communication style and strategy. On the research on women's talk, women are more concerned with both side independent relationship and are quicker to recognize their independence. Besides that, women are also more concerned with social interaction and work to keep social interaction going. Lastly, women also often tend to view conversation as a cooperative enterprise require mutual participation. In group leadership, women leaders use democratic style of leadership, focusing on participation and understanding. Whereas men leaders use autocratic style of leadership, categorized by directives and aggressiveness. So, when engaged in argument in small group, women may be more likely than men to ask questions and agree with others, and may be less likely than men to challenge other statements or frame other group member arguments. So this is the summary for the gender difference. In gender world, most children are acculturated and predominantly all boys and all girls group, which produce different in group communication. For gender stereotype, women are more relation-oriented and cooperative, while men are task-oriented and competitive. Lastly, group leadership, female leaders are more participatory, while male leaders are more autocratic.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Zisin. My matrix number is 27801. Now I'm going to present the part of generational diversity. The first thing is seniors. The life of seniors born between 1920 and 1943 was shaped by the New Deals and World War II. They value hard work, authority, and personal sacrifice for the group good. Besides, during most of a senior's work life, the idea of one company for life was the goal. Their personal identity and the corporate identity became one and the same. Thus, seniors tend to identify with and trust their companies more than one other generation. They tend to believe in their corporate values and mission statements. The next one is baby boomers. The life of baby boomers born between 1943 and 1960. Members of this generation tend to be competitive and team-oriented. The boomers are the TV generation. They got and continue to get most of their information from television. Their team approach to work popularized creative group process such as brainstorming and nominal grouping. The next one is Generation X. The life of Generation X born between 1960 and 1980 were affected by two-income families, high divorce rates, and the popularization of the term latchkey children. Generation X became the cable television and video game generation. They respond to Theory Y management, which focuses more on the interpersonal needs of employees. They look for and make friends in the workplace, and they expect to work for a number of different companies in their lifetime, and they find it normal to be a member multiple work groups in the organization. However, they feel that establishing a trusting interpersonal relationship through face-to-face communication is a first and necessary step in building a good group work. The next one is Generation Y. They born between 1980 and 2000 are defined by innovative changes in communication technology. They are the first digital generation. Cell phones, iPods, and cyber social networks such as Facebook and MySpace shape much of their community lives. Their generation seamlessness merge work and home. They are comfortable working from their laptops in any space like home, coffee house, or office. Likewise, they are comfortable maintaining their social networks using their laptops and cell phones while they work. This is the first generation to truly work in virtual groups. Thus, their approach to work groups is to use technology to accelerate the problem-solving process. They do not go to the library comes to their computers.
Now I'll continue this presentation by talking about professional differences. So the first one is professional perspective. Professional perspective means different professions vary in type of group interaction they prefer. The example for professional perspective are advertising executives prefer brainstorming or engineers prefer Six Sigma for quality control. The next one is professional experience. So professional experience means some professions have extensive collaborative experience while others have little group experience or training. That's all from me. Now I'll pass this presentation to next presenter. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone. I'm Wang Ziyin with matrix number 270478. Now I'll continue with individual diversity. There are two types of individual diversity. The first type is diverse interpersonal needs in a group. Fundamental Interpersonal Relations Orientation (FIRO) is a training tool used in American corporations for the past 5 decades. It is used to understand the differences in group leadership dynamics and understand individual diversity in a small group. It assumes that anytime a group is formed, it is likely to be composed of individuals with diverse interpersonal needs to satisfy. FIRO explains that there are 3 types of interpersonal needs to be satisfied, which include needs for inclusion, needs for control, and needs for affection or openness. Need for inclusion explains the need to develop and preserve a relationship with others, one's sense and desire for belongingness and connection, as well as seeking and giving attention. Need for control explains the need for control and responsibility, while need for affection or openness explains the need for openness, trust, and vulnerability. These 3 needs are divided into 3 levels, which are deficient, ideal, and excessive. For inclusion continuum, under social is categorized under the deficient level, social is the ideal level, while over social is the excessive level. For control continuum, abdicrat is the deficient level, democrat is the ideal level, and autocrat is the excessive level. For affection or openness continuum, under personal is the deficient level, personal is the ideal level, while over personal is the excessive level. Diverse personalities in a group is another type of individual diversity. Systematic multiple-level observation of groups (SIMLOG) is a tool for understanding the diverse personalities likely to be encountered when working in a small group. There are 3 fundamental assumptions, which include people interact in 3 dimensions, people use these dimensions intuitively when evaluating their own interaction and the interaction of others, and people make sense of and respond to descriptions of their own and others' interactions when those interactions are defined on 3 dimensions. There are 3 dimensions of SIMLOG, which are dominant versus submissive, friendly versus unfriendly, and instrumentally controlled versus emotionally expressive. Persons with dominant personalities will act overtly to other members in the group and try to dominate the speaking time of the group. They takes up a high degree of group space as well as values prominence and personal power. Persons with submissive personalities are introverted and take up little group space. They often appear passive, powerless, and uncommunicative. They appear willing to give up their personal preferences easily, or at least to suppress their personal needs or desires. People with friendly personalities strike a balance between talking and listening. They are easy to talk with and appear to seek equality between their ideas and those of other group members. They do not seem competitive and are humanistic and flexible. They have good listening skills and seldom give non-verbal cues that they want to interrupt another speaker. They value democratic decision-making and equality. People with unfriendly personalities are very negative and disagree a lot. They often appear as though they do not want to be members of a group. They seem unapproachable and indifferent, even to friendly communication. They rarely make eye contact with the person who is speaking. They prize their own self-sufficiency and often appear concerned only with their self-interest. They feel that there is a continuing need to discern from group opinions. People who are analytically controlled are emotionally neutral. They are straight arrow type of person who are analytical and task-oriented. They are sticklers for following group rules and norms. They have strong work ethic and are impersonal in expression. People who are emotionally expressive are viewed as creative, playful, and dramatic. They reject group conventions and quickly show their feelings and emotions on a given topic. They often hold unconventional beliefs and search out new ways to solve group problems. They show sudden shifts from preoccupation with the feelings of group members to the group tasks. They might actually stand up and act out a creative group idea, while other times they may appear detached with a blank look on their faces.